the story about the channeling Norman Bates.
I never thought that I would have to write about a night like this, but I feel like it's my duty to warn others. New Year's Eve is supposed to be a time of celebration and joy, but my experience was anything but. It started off like any other New Year's Eve party. My friends and I were excited to ring in the new year and have a good time. But as the night went on, things started to take a turn for the worst. The music was too loud and the atmosphere was tense. I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. And as midnight approached, the feeling only intensified. Just as we counted down to the new year, I saw something that sent chills down my spine. Through the crowd, I saw a figure standing in the corner of the room. It was a woman, but there was something off about her. She was completely still, with a blank expression on her face. And as I looked closer, I realized that her eyes were completely white. I tried to tell my friends, but they were too busy celebrating to listen. So I decided to investigate on my own. As I approached the woman, she suddenly vanished. I was left standing alone, wondering if I had just imagined the whole thing. But as the night went on, I kept seeing her. She seemed to be everywhere, always watching me with those haunting white eyes. The rest of the night was a blur. I couldn't stop thinking about the woman and the feeling that she was watching me. And as the party started to wind down, we gathered our things and headed home. But as we walked through the streets, I saw the woman again. This time, she was standing on the other side of the street, still as a statue. I tried to run, but my legs felt like lead.
As the New Year's Eve partygoers counted down the final seconds of the year, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. As the music thumped and the champagne flowed, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. It wasn't until later, when the lights started flickering and strange noises echoed through the halls, that I realized the truth. I was being watched, and it was by the ghost of Norman Bates. For those unfamiliar with the story, Norman Bates was a notorious serial killer who ran a small hotel in the 1960s. And as the night went on, it became clear that his spirit had somehow taken over the party. Guests started disappearing one by one, and those who remained were subjected to a night of terror. Screams echoed through the halls as Norman's ghost manifested itself in increasingly unsettling ways. As the night wore on, I couldn't help but feel like I was channeling Norman's madness. I found myself feeling increasingly paranoid and violent, and it was all I could do to keep myself from succumbing to his influence. When dawn broke and the survivors emerged from the hotel, we were all left wondering what had happened on that horror-filled New Year's Eve. Had we really been visited by the ghost of Norman Bates, or was it all just a terrible nightmare? Either way, I knew that I would never forget the terror of that night.
If you like our horror and scary videos, please subscribe my channel.